friends, hello, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day. Mikko Rantanen on the move again. Carolina thought, hey, we're going to trade for this guy. We're going to sign him. Who doesn't want to be a Carolina Hurricane? Mikko Rantanen apparently would be the answer to that question. Rantanen comes over, contract talks come in, big money being thrown around. Rantanen saying, I don't want to be here. What? I feel for Carolina. It reminds me of being, well, a Blue Jackets fan. I definitely feel for Carolina in that regards, but hey, you know, you got to do your due diligence and confirm that this guy does indeed want to sign a contract and play with your team. Otherwise, it is a rental, and it's a rental that you gave up Martin Necas for. And that's kind of where this trade goes. If you're Carolina going full circle, you traded away Martin Necas and a player that you didn't really plan on signing and keeping. You traded him away, and what you ended up getting was stankoven, Dallas, and 2 first-round picks. Really? You know, flashing back, they didn't do too bad. Now, you know, you can say the inner workings between there, but really, they didn't do too bad because everybody knew, hey, they're going to rent Rantanen for a year, or they're going to have to trade him. So there was a lot of talk he needed to be traded. He needed to be traded to a team he wanted to play for, and sign an extension to. So that was a lot of leverage for the other team. But the leverage Carolina had was, hey, we have an elite goal-scoring winger that we can just keep and win a Stanley Cup with ourselves. So there was definitely a reason for a team like Dallas or another team to give something up. So you look at this and say, hey, 2 first and stankoven of your Dallas for 8 years of service of Mikko Rantanen. Oh yeah, you have to do that. My only concern is now, my only concern is how much did McKinnon affect him? How much are we worried about? Hey, 27, 28. 8 years, 38, 35, 36, a bigger bodied kind of player, 6'4", 215. Those guys, the longevity in the league when you're a little bit bigger once you hit 30, and you have to wonder, this guy's now been on 3 teams in a couple months. And it was difficult making things work. It seems I know a lot of people will say, well, the Colorado thing's different and this and that, but it's like it definitely raises the eyebrows a little bit for me. But all in all, before all of this came together, before all of this mess of Mikko trades happened, I loved Mikko as a player and on the ice. So we'll see what happens from here. Meanwhile, Carolina, even stankoven in the second year in the league here, starting to come together a little bit. Playing better this season, improving. He's a centerman. Can you get this man to continue to grow and improve as a 22-year-old now? Plus, you get 2 first-round picks. If you're Carolina, this is kind of what you want. Of course, you wanted to try to, if you get that big fish in Rantanen, go ahead. But when you said, hey, we're going to move on from Necas, you was like, all right, let's continue to build for the future. Let's continue to build within. This is a team that you got to, if you want to sustain a dynasty, I don't want to say it's a dynasty, but sustain longevity as a consistent playoff team, you have to be able to continue to retool your team without getting too focused on paying older players, without being too focused on keeping the same core. Because that's how, of course, again, that's how you get like the Bruins or the Wings or the Penguins, the past couple of decades. We're sure you can build around that. You keep that core for a long time, but once they hit their 30s and you have nothing behind them, that's when things get difficult. But now Carolina going to walk in with a couple extra first-round draft picks from Dallas. You're going to walk in with a young, up-and-coming stankoven, and the damage wasn't too steep. And if you're Dallas, oh yeah, you're happy. Oh, you're happy as well. This is a trade that works for everybody. You're gonna bring in Rantanen, and again, a stud of a player. Of course, Carolina's not gonna take that. They're gonna laugh at us. But we'll go ahead and see what the league would do with Mikko on the Stars. What's crazy about this deadline is it feels like there's big fish. It feels like there's high contracts. It feels like there's a lot moving around to some already really good hockey teams. And I've seen this now with Dallas a couple times, their names coming up. Florida, a few times their names coming up. I was like, man, how do these teams afford all this? How are they making all this work? But all of a sudden, you look and you say, is it safe to say Dallas and Florida are your favorites to be in the Cup Finals right now, or is that going too far? I still look at this and think, good trade for both teams. If you had an opinion, and we all do, you would turn off trade offers. I didn't think it was gonna be this crazy. I thought there was a setting for that, but I looked over it. No, we fixed it. But if you look at this trade, if you're a Dallas fan, hey, how do you think they did? If you're a Carolina fan, how do you think they did? If you're a fan of neither team, I would imagine if you're a fan of neither team, if you're a fan of a team out there out west, you're like, hey, Terrible trade. Send him back. If you're out there out east, you're like, a weaker Carolina? Sure. Beautiful trade. Good job. Hope the draft picks don't work out, right? Typically, though, only time will tell. Dallas right now, not even a playoff team. They're going to find their way back in it. And that's the thing about these season sims. Anything can happen. You know the Dallas is probably going to make the playoffs. Imagine, though, they fell apart. It'd be cool if you could jump into this game, kind of go start at the deadline. If there was a live, and this could be an update, EA, if you're listening, a live season mode where you can jump into the season right where things are every single day. Things maybe it updates once a week. You can jump into the NHL season at that very moment, get the exact standings, get the exact stats, and jump in and go from there. See what happens. Because I think that would be cool. Because you can't replicate the trade deadline moments unless you were to have the exact records. And Dallas ain't even gonna make the playoffs. Apparently that Mikko Rantanen guy we was talking about was a little concerned. 3 teams in a couple months. Apparently he's bringing down the teams around him. That is something different. Carolina is going to make the playoffs. Got the Leafs in the first round. Are they going to advance to the second, or are they going to go to the Stanley Cup Finals? Wouldn't it be crazy if it popped up on this screen and said, your Stanley Cup champions were the Carolina Hurricanes? They're not. I keep wanting to say the Panthers. I know at some point in time this year I've said Panthers and didn't notice it. I've had to have. It just keeps wanting to roll off the tongue. Mikko Rantanen will lead the Dallas Stars in points. He'll be a +6. Again, underperformance out of Jake Robertson in the sim, Tyler Seguin and company. Surprisingly. Was the goaltending atrocious? It wasn't horrible. Surprisingly, though, they see that kind of performance. Carolina, on the other hand, life without Mikko Rantanen, much like it was, well, again, a couple months ago. Stankoven puts up 45 points, -4. Not too shabby. Carolina makes the playoffs. Dallas doesn't. That's how this one ends. That would be a wild end to the season. Nonetheless, as always, if you enjoyed the video, I appreciate you liking and subscribing. You never have to. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.